come to a point that he could no longer sleep. Once it's 10 p.m., we'll be scared. Will this leg allow us sleep? Will this leg pain?
We dey pray, oh, dey show. NSPPD as my family. Well, before anything, you like and subscribe and share. I want to say it again. Like, subscribe and share. Hi, my family. I want to ask, what is that thing that you've not taken to the altar? What is that thing that is troubling you? What is that thing that is giving you sleepless nights and you've not taken it to the altar of fire? And you're on this altar. Oh yeah, take it to the altar. Oh, take it to the altar. The God that answered by fire is active. Oh, He will glorify His name in your life. He has done it before. He will do it again. He's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. Take that into the altar. Oh, look at how this woman took her own to the altar and God answered her.
My name is Mrs. Solomon Kalio from Edo State. I want to testify of the goodness of God, how God healed my husband from an open wound that lasted for 2 years. 2024, within March, April, my husband waked me up that he felt a needle prick on his leg. I said, okay, sorry, maybe it's the mosquito bite or something. So we just took it casually. As time goes on, the leg started giving him issues. Pain upon pain, painkiller upon painkiller, like that. And so just saying like that, the wound is expanding with excruciating pain. So we thought like play. 1 year passed. The second year, the wound becomes so massive. So I was like, there, what is it? What is happening? Not knowing that there is a family line of leg injury that leads to death. That some persons in his family line has died. Just a little thing on their foot, before you know it will expand, become complicated, and the person will die. I said, is that what it is? I said, okay. So I started putting it on the altar of fire. Every day we are going to the hospital, they were dressing the wound. The more we dress the wound, the more it becomes painful. We did sugar test, whether it's sugar that is making the wound not to heal. We did fasting blood sugar, all manner of blood sugar tests. We did all that. Nothing. Going back, after the antibiotics, we found out that all the antibiotics has become resistant. So fear gripped me. I said, if all the old drugs become resistant, then how do we now treat this injury? So invariably, no more antibiotics to administer. Yesterday they told us they are going to do plastic surgery. Say because as the wound is going deeper, it's about touching his bone, that might even lead to amputation of his leg. I said, how can? Fast forwarding it to January this year, when we had our 21 days New Year fast for the year. So I was very, very serious about it. Because it come to a point that he could no longer sleep. Once it's 10 p.m., we'll be scared. Will this leg allow us sleep? Will this leg pain? Sometimes the pain will come. We'll start turning it to worship, prayer, pray, all manner. And the next day we need to go to work. Somebody who has not slept well, and you have to report to work by 7:30 in the morning. So how do you do it? It become an issue, but disturbing issue. I was bringing up the matter before the altar of God. Not until on the 12th, precisely on the 12th of January, a lady gave a testimony. She was like, I need to take it to the altar of fire, the altar of NSPPD. So when Pastor Jerry was rounding up the testimony time, he said, what is that thing that you are not taking to the altar? Take it to the altar now. That lady, did you hear her testimony? She said she took it to the altar. So what is that thing? Brethren, take it to the altar of fire.
Let me hear you talk back to me and say, I have taken it to the altar.
I have taken it to the altar.
You know, they will not understand, but let me hear you screaming loud and say, I have taken it to the altar. Somebody whose faith knows that it is settled, let me hear you scream again, say, I have taken it to the altar.
So when Pastor Jerry said that word, it's as if a scale fall out of my hand. I said, but I am praying. This word again comes like this, as if it's a fresh knowledge, fresh revelation. So I key into that word. After I finished the prayer, I was in the office when we rounded up the prayer. So when I went home, I didn't look at my husband's face. I said, wound, you must face the altar of fire. I grabbed with the anger inside of me. I grabbed the two legs. I don't even know whether it's paining him. I don't even look at his face. All I know, that injury that refused to heal, that open injury that has refused to heal, must face the altar of God. I grab the two legs and I speak to it that this day, as Pastor Jerry has said, I am presenting you to the altar of fire. Therefore, I command you, begin to heal up, begin to seal up. I told my husband, you will not go back to that clinic. No more dressing of wound every day. We will now look what God will do for us here. Brethren, lo and behold, when there was no exposure to medical attention, when there was not, we are just alone, believing and trusting God, you no longer take any medication. Brethren, the wound sealed up. Open wound of 2 years, sealed up. When the wound now sealed up, I immediately took the picture of it. I said, let me not forget, because I am coming back to the altar of fire to give God thanks for what he has done. Even now, the wound are sealed up. You won't even know that wound ever existed in that very part of the leg. Pastor Jerry, I am here to say thank you. May God bless you.
Celebrate the Lord! Celebrate!
What God cannot do does not exist.